A reformed revelation. The enemy fears the abrupt totality that's made with a recognition within me as an imperial of the dawn, advocated and upholding a champion's scroll, coasting through an entire landscape, treading with the hoof of a darkened shadow of apparition as a specter into the light. A gasp of the enemy, gulping up entire forces, vomiting out the entitled dexterous of my residuals, as God makes for me, prompting the collateral with a fearless approbation. Withering on a cosmic level is the dynasties of principalities severing under the depth of defined backing. So it is, as evidence of the sacred pearly gates, formidably and clandestinely being exchanged, surging as a validated confidant, thriving with the thrill made in the ascent culminating on the high rise as I make for myself accessing within the ensued and inevitable finished conclusion on the altruism of fate, orchestrating with superattendants, sounding an alarm where order is dispatched up a heavenly crowns, proctoring empowerment made with agility. Before the king, all shall bow in reverence to serve a higher standard of synchronicities, primal promotion with an integrating innovation throughout and within the sum, where the cosmos' indubitable conception of holy revelation makes for a mantle, voluntary with an excellence comprised with a totality servicing by the advent unfurling with a power validated through a decree devastating heaven and earth. Doors of empowerment are divinely kept open for an anointing to unleash dominance, burning down divination optimally by the helter-skelter, by an intervention fortified of highlights from ancient performance, prophetically responding clairvoyance and reasoning with an ointment of oil by a refining fire, covering the poise of encryption through declaration, abounded thorough with fulfillment of the promise, having weaponized us with an endless escort for honor to protect the manner of uplifted sovereignty. Fully surrendering to the will without delay, every curse being broke, transforming with triumphant enlightenment and in the fullness of time, forever prevailing his justice of ultimates. Inwardly with an eloquence as God pours out resurrecting power through the pain that had once held us captive, now as a sweet essence given up to the Father in the emulation for his light inquiring accessible gravitation with an exceedingly made allurement, choosing the divine veil of union with unison of conviction from eternity's possession clearing the way. Confirmation is made in the cohesion of ushering actuality, divinely orchestrated with a pentacle from out of time being brought through, over, above, and ahead with a well of living water, stirred up with purpose in heaven's heave of constellations, authority that consists of a reunion of power, healing with the adequacy through the residuals, made relying upon God as a conduit, preserving in his relevancy within a heart of gratification, through thanks to appease the Father to build our encouragement, bringing a reference point of admiration to our hearts to cry out. Molasses runs down the tree of the living, running over and overflowing with blessings, rooted in truth, anchored in love, found in part of the aquary in time's cloak, essentially preserved for such a time as this, having been an adequate version to resolve the intangible consultation, as high command is a wish performed being purified and true inside of sanctification. The tenacity of being reformed by the hand of the Most High being ordained in the visuals of firm privilege, made in God's favor. Taken up by the spirit of remarkability, marveling at the wonders of awe, inspiring works where credentials are made in the authenticity of the Most High's foundation. Sturdy and unshakable. A spiritual cry risen from my soul pierces through the veil. Even now, as my spirit cries out, I listen for the attentive focus of God's mentorship, making his covenant host me of my life's declaration to soothe and convene. And so it is, I pray,